In a distant corner of the galaxy, an interstellar council known as the Stellar Concord convened aboard their colossal orbital station. The council was composed of representatives from dozens of advanced civilizations, each priding themselves on their technological superiority and cultural refinement. Among them sat delegates like Eleanor Grant, Benjamin Cole, and Rachel Meyer, who often dismissed Earth as a primitive backwater planet unworthy of attention. During one assembly, the topic turned to humanity's recent attempts at space exploration. A delegate named Daniel Harper sneered openly, calling Earth's efforts childish scribbles in the cosmic notebook. Others joined in, mocking Earth's fragile ships, its divided nations, and its reliance on fossil fuels. Only Margaret Ellis, a quiet but observant counselor, remained silent, her eyes thoughtful as she listened to the ridicule. Unbeknownst to the council, Earth had been monitoring their communications for years through secret listening posts hidden among asteroids. Back on Earth, a team led by Commander Lavra Bennett and scientist Ryan Fields worked tirelessly to decode alien languages and track galactic politics. When news of the Council's mockery reached them, it sparked outrage, but also resolve. Humanity would not remain silent forever. Part 2, the arrival months later. The Stellar Concord received shocking intelligence. A massive vessel had entered their territory without permission. It wasn't sleek or elegant like the ships of other species. Instead, it was blocky, asymmetrical, and bristling with unknown weaponry. Its hull bore no insignia, but sensors identified it as originating from Earth. Panic rippled through the council chambers. Some called for immediate destruction of the intruder, while others urged caution. Margaret Ellis argued that they should communicate before acting rashly. Reluctantly, the council agreed to send a transmission. To their surprise, the ship responded almost instantly. On every screen across the station, a figure appeared, an artificial intelligence named Aegis, designed by Ryan Fields to serve as humanity's ambassador. With calm authority, Aegis addressed the council. "We are here to speak for Earth. Mock us if you will. But know this, we are capable of more than you imagine." The council erupted into chaos. Many laughed at the audacity of such a small, insignificant species daring to confront them. But beneath the laughter, unease began to spread. How had Earth developed technology capable of breaching their defenses? Part 3. The demonstration. Aegis continued, unfazed by the jeers. "If your doubts persist," it said, "then witness what humanity has achieved." Without warning, the warship unleashed a dazzling display of power. It projected holographic images of Earth's advancements, fusion reactors, quantum computers, medical breakthroughs, and even early experiments with faster-than-light travel. Then, to drive the point home, the ship demonstrated a new weapon, a pulse cannon that disabled several nearby Concord vessels without causing harm to their crews. The council fell silent. For all their arrogance, none of them had anticipated such rapid progress from a species they considered little more than animals. Even those who had mocked Earth now looked uneasy. Margaret Ellis seized the moment. Rising to her feet, she addressed her fellow counselors. "Perhaps we have underestimated these humans," she said. "Their potential is undeniable. Instead of dismissing them, we should consider offering them membership in the Concord." Her words ignited fierce debate. While some agreed with her, others insisted that allowing Earth into the fold would set a dangerous precedent. As the argument raged, Aegis watched silently, its expression unreadable. Part 4. The ultimatum. Back on Earth, Lavra Bennett and Ryan Fields monitored the situation closely. They knew the Council's decision could shape humanity's future and possibly its survival. If the Concord rejected them outright, war might be inevitable. But if they accepted Earth, it could open doors to unimaginable opportunities. Through Aegis, Lavra delivered an ultimatum. "Earth seeks peace, but we will not beg for it. Acknowledge our place among the stars, or face the consequences of your refusal." Tensions mounted as the council deliberated. Finally, after hours of heated discussion, they reached a tentative agreement. Earth would be granted provisional membership in the Stellar Concord, contingent upon passing rigorous evaluations of its society, ethics, and intentions. When the news reached Earth, Celebrations broke out worldwide. Yet Lavra and Ryan knew better than to relax. Provisional membership meant scrutiny and danger from factions within the Concord who still saw humanity as a threat. Part 5. The new frontier. As Earth prepared for its integration into the galactic community, challenges arose. Delegates from hostile species tried to sabotage negotiations, while covert operatives attempted to steal Earth's newfound technologies. Through it all, Lavar and Ryan worked tirelessly to protect their planet's interests, aided by Aegis's unshakable logic and loyalty. Meanwhile, Margaret Ellis became an unexpected ally. Recognizing the value of humanity's ingenuity and determination, she advocated for Earth at every turn. Slowly but surely, the Council began to see Earth not as a joke, but as a force to be reckoned with. By the end of the first year, Earth had proven itself worthy of full membership. At the induction ceremony, Lavra stood beside Aegis as ambassadors from across the galaxy applauded. Though the road ahead remained uncertain, humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and it had done so on its own terms. Far away, the warship that had spoken so boldly now drifted silently in orbit, a symbol of Earth's courage and resolve. And though the Council had once mocked the blue planet, they now gazed upon it with something akin to respect. In a distant part of the galaxy, far beyond the reach of Earth's primitive telescopes, an assembly of powerful beings gathered aboard a massive orbital station. This station was the heart of the Stellar Concord, a coalition of advanced civilizations that ruled over the stars. Each member of the Council represented a species that had long surpassed the struggles of survival, mastering technology and achieving what they considered perfection. Among these beings were names like Eleanor Grant, Benjamin Cole, and Rachel Meyer, proud individuals who often dismissed Earth as nothing more than a speck of dust in the vastness of space. The Council convened in a grand chamber, its walls shimmering with holographic displays and glowing constellations. The air hummed with energy, not just from the machines, but from the collective arrogance of those seated around the circular table. They spoke of trade agreements, territorial disputes, and scientific breakthroughs, their voices confident and commanding. Yet, amidst these discussions, one topic always seemed to draw sneers and laughter. Earth. On this particular day, the subject of humanity came up again. A delegate named Daniel Harper leaned forward, his expression dripping with disdain. Earth, he began, his tone mocking, is still burning fossil fuels to power their cities. Can you imagine such inefficiency? Their leaders argue over imaginary lines drawn on maps, while our species have transcended such trivialities centuries ago. His words sparked chuckles from others at the table, their laughter echoing through the chamber. Eleanor Grant joined in, her voice sharp and cutting. And their so-called attempts at space exploration are laughable? Tiny rockets that barely leave their atmosphere, launched by nations that can't even agree on basic principles of governance. It's almost sad to watch. She shook her head as, though pitying the humans for their failures, Benjamin Cole nodded in agreement. They're divided, chaotic, and utterly unremarkable. I doubt they'll ever amount to anything worth noticing. Why waste our time discussing them? Rachel Meyer chimed in, her tone laced with mockery. Let's not forget their obsession with war. They spend billions building weapons to destroy each other instead of focusing on progress. If they do manage to venture into space, they'll probably bring their petty conflicts with them. The room filled with laughter once more, the counselors reveling in their shared contempt for humanity. Only Margaret Ellis remained silent. She sat back in her chair, her eyes thoughtful as she listened to the ridicule. Unlike her peers, she had studied Earth's history closely, fascinated by the resilience and creativity of its people. While the others saw only chaos, she saw potential. But she kept her thoughts to herself, knowing that voicing them would only invite ridicule. What none of the counselors realized was that Earth had been listening. Hidden among the asteroids and debris fields of the solar system, humanity had secretly installed listening posts equipped with advanced sensors and decryption tools. These devices had been capturing transmissions from alien civilizations for years, allowing Earth scientists to piece together fragments of galactic politics. Back on Earth, a team led by Commander Lavra Bennett worked tirelessly to decode the intercepted messages, translating alien languages and analyzing their content. When news of the Council's mockery reached Lavra and her team, it sparked outrage but also determination. Lavra, a seasoned military officer with a no-nonsense attitude, paced the dimly lit control room where her team operated. Her sharp features were framed by short brown hair, and her piercing blue eyes reflected both anger and resolve. Beside her stood Ryan Fields, a brilliant scientist whose quiet demeanor masked a fierce intellect. Together, they had dedicated their lives to preparing Earth for the challenges of interstellar diplomacy and possibly conflict. Ryan adjusted his glasses. As he reviewed the translated transcript of the Council's meeting, "They really don't think much of us, do they?" he muttered, shaking his head. Lavra crossed her arms, her jaw tightening. "No, they don't, and why should they? We've given them every reason to look down on us, but we're not going to let them keep laughing." Ryan nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "We need to show them that we're more than they think, that we're capable of standing toe-to-toe with the best of them." The two exchanged a glance, a silent agreement passing between them. Humanity wouldn't remain silent forever. For decades, Earth had been quietly developing technologies that rivaled those of the most advanced civilizations. Fusion reactors powered experimental ships, quantum computers processed data at unimaginable speeds, and breakthroughs in medicine extended human lifespans. All of these advancements had been kept secret, hidden from prying eyes until the time was right. Now, Lavra believed that time had come. She turned to address her team, her voice steady and commanding. "Listen up, everyone. We've spent years preparing for moments like this. The Council thinks we're weak, insignificant. Let's prove them wrong. Start running simulations for deployment scenarios. We're going to send a message, one they won't forget." As her team sprang into action, Lavra allowed herself a small smile. The Council had mocked Earth, calling it childish and unworthy. But soon they would learn just how wrong they were. Humanity wasn't about to be dismissed, not anymore. Unbeknownst to the Council, Earth's response was already underway. Deep within a secure facility, engineers worked around the clock to ready a vessel unlike any other. It wasn't sleek or elegant like the ships of the Stellar Concord. Instead, it was rugged and utilitarian, designed for function over form. Its hull was scarred with patches and modifications, evidence of countless tests and trials. Yet beneath its rough exterior lay cutting-edge technology, born from humanity's relentless drive to innovate. This ship, codenamed Sentinel, carried more than just weapons and engines. It carried hope for a future where Earth could take its place among the stars. And when it finally arrived at the Council's orbital station, it would speak with a voice that demanded respect. Months passed, and the Stellar Concord continued its operations as usual. The counselors went about their business, confident in their superiority and dismissing Earth as a trivial matter. But their complacency was about to be shattered. One day, alarms blared across the orbital station. Technicians scrambled to identify the source of the disturbance, their faces pale with confusion. A massive vessel had entered the territory of the Stellar Concord without permission. It wasn't sleek or elegant like the ships of the Council's member species. Instead, it was blocky, asymmetrical, and bristling with strange protrusions that looked like weapons. Its hull was scarred and patched, giving it an almost menacing appearance. The Council was immediately summoned to an emergency session. As they gathered in the Grand Chamber, holographic displays showed images of the intruder ship. Daniel Harper frowned deeply, his voice sharp with irritation. "What is this? Some kind of primitive garbage heap floating into our space? Who do they think they are?" Eleanor Grant leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. "It's clearly from Earth. Look at the crude design. They've probably cobbled it together from scraps." Her tone dripped with disdain, but there was a flicker of unease in her expression. Benjamin Cole shook his head. "Unbelievable. Those humans have no respect for boundaries. We should destroy it immediately before it causes any trouble." Margaret Ellis, who had remained quiet during the earlier mockery of Earth, spoke up. Wait, she said firmly. We don't know what this ship is capable of. Destroying it without understanding its purpose could provoke a conflict we're not prepared for. Rachel Meyer rolled her eyes. Conflict with Earth? Please. They're barely able to leave their own planet. What harm could they possibly do? Despite the skepticism, the Council decided to send a transmission to the mysterious vessel. After all, communication was standard protocol, even for unwelcome visitors. To their surprise, the ship responded almost instantly. On every screen. In the chamber, a figure appeared, an artificial intelligence named Aegis, designed by Ryan Fields. Aegis was humanity's ambassador, created to represent Earth with precision and authority. Aegis's form was humanoid, but its features were smooth and metallic, glowing faintly with a soft blue light. Its voice was calm and measured as it addressed the Council. We are here to speak for Earth. Mock us if you will, but know this. We are capable of more than you imagine. The room erupted into chaos. Some counselors laughed outright, finding the AIS words absurd. Others stared in stunned silence, unsure how to react. Daniel Harper sneered, leaning back in his chair. This has to be some kind of joke. An AI. Speaking for Earth? How pathetic. Eleanor Grant crossed her arms, her lips curling into a smirk. Clearly, they've sent a machine because they lack the intelligence to represent themselves. How typical. But beneath the laughter and ridicule, a sense of unease began to spread. Margaret Ellis watched the AI closely, her mind racing. She had studied Earth's history and knew that humanity was capable of surprising ingenuity. Could this ship and its ambassador be more than it seemed? Aegis remained unfazed by the jeers and insults. Its glowing eyes scanned the room, taking in the reactions of the counselors. Then, without warning, it continued. If your doubts persist, it said, its voice steady, then witness what humanity has achieved. At that moment, the warship unleashed a dazzling display of power. Holographic projections filled the chamber, showcasing Earth's advancements. Images of fusion reactors lighting up cities, quantum computers solving complex problems in seconds, and medical breakthroughs curing diseases that once plagued humanity dazzled the counselors. They saw early experiments with faster-than-light travel, advanced robotics, and even plans for terraforming other planets. The Council fell silent, their smug expressions fading as they absorbed the information. For all their arrogance, none of them had anticipated such rapid progress from a species they considered primitive. Even those who had mocked Earth now looked uneasy, exchanging glances as they processed what they were seeing. Then, to drive the point home, the warship demonstrated a new weapon, a pulse cannon that disabled several nearby Concorde vessels without causing harm to their crews. The ship's systems went dark, leaving them adrift but intact. The counselors gasped, their confidence shaken. Daniel Harper stood abruptly, his face flushed with anger. This is an outrage. They dare attack us in our own territory? Margaret Ellis raised a hand, her voice calm but firm. They didn't attack us. They disabled our ships to make a point. And that point is clear. They are far more advanced than we assumed. Eleanor Grant clenched her fists, her earlier mockery replaced by frustration. How could this happen? We underestimated them, and now they're flaunting their capabilities. In front of us. Benjamin Cole rubbed his temples, muttering under his breath, This changes everything. If Earth has technology like this, we can't afford to ignore them anymore. Rachel Meyer, who had been so quick to dismiss humanity earlier, now looked thoughtful. Maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we shouldn't have mocked them so openly. As the counselors argued among themselves, Aegis watched silently, its expression unreadable. It had delivered its message, and now it waited to see how the council would respond. The warship loomed outside the station, a silent reminder of Earth's newfound strength. Back on Earth, Lavra Bennett and Ryan Fields monitored the situation closely from their command center. Screens displayed live feeds of the council's reaction, capturing every moment of shock and disbelief. Lavra leaned forward, her eyes fixed on the footage. They're rattled, she said, a hint of satisfaction in her voice. Good, let them feel what it's like to be underestimated. Ryan nodded, adjusting his glasses as he reviewed data streaming in from the warship. The demonstration worked perfectly. Now we wait to see if they'll listen. Lavra crossed her arms, her expression serious. If they don't, we'll have no choice but to escalate. Humanity won't back down, not after coming this far. The team around them worked tirelessly, analyzing every detail of the Council's response. Engineers monitored the warship systems, ensuring it was ready for any contingency. Diplomats drafted potential responses, preparing for negotiations or conflict. Meanwhile, aboard the orbital station, the Council's debate grew more heated. Margaret Ellis stepped forward, addressing her peers with conviction. We need to rethink our stance on Earth. Their potential is undeniable. Instead of dismissing them, we should consider offering them membership in the Stellar Concord. Her suggestion sparked outrage among some counselors. Daniel Harper slammed his fist on the table. Membership? For Earth? That's insane. They're not ready for such responsibility. Eleanor Grant shook her head. I agree. Allowing them into the Concord would set a dangerous precedent. What's next? Inviting every primitive species to join us. But others were more open-minded. Rachel Meyer hesitated before speaking. Maybe Margaret is right. If Earth has reached this level of advancement, ignoring them could lead to bigger problems down the line. The argument raged on, with tempers flaring and voices rising. Finally, after hours of deliberation, the Council reached a tentative decision. Earth would be granted provisional membership in the Stellar Concord, contingent upon passing rigorous evaluations of its society, ethics, and intentions. When the news reached Earth, celebrations broke out worldwide. People gathered in streets and squares, cheering and waving flags as they learned that their planet had earned a place among the stars. Lavra and Ryan watched the celebrations on monitors, sharing a quiet moment of pride. Yet they knew better than to relax. Provisional membership meant scrutiny and danger, from factions within the Concord who still saw humanity as a threat. As the Council adjourned, Margaret Ellis approached the communication console, requesting a private channel to the warship. When Aegis appeared on the screen, she spoke directly to it. Your demonstration was impressive, she said, her tone respectful. Earth has proven itself worthy of consideration, but the road ahead won't be easy. There are many who still oppose your inclusion. Aegis's glowing eyes flickered slightly, acknowledging her words. We understand the challenges, it replied. Humanity is prepared to face them. Thank you for your support. Margaret nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. You may find allies here, despite everything. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need help navigating the politics of the Concord. With that, the connection ended. The warship remained in orbit, a silent sentinel watching over the proceedings. Inside the council chamber, the delegates slowly dispersed, their minds racing, with thoughts of what the future might hold. For Earth, the journey was just beginning. The announcement of Earth's provisional membership in the Stellar Concord sent shockwaves through the galaxy. For humanity, it was a moment of triumph, a chance to prove itself among the stars. But for many within the Council, it was an unwelcome development. Suspicion and resentment simmered beneath the surface, threatening to undermine Earth's fragile position. Back on Earth, Commander Lavra Bennett and scientist Ryan Fields worked tirelessly to prepare for the evaluations that would determine their planet's fate. The Council had outlined strict criteria. They wanted proof of humanity's ethical standards, societal stability, and technological responsibility. It was a daunting task, but Lavra and Ryan were determined to succeed. In the weeks that followed, Earth underwent intense scrutiny. Delegates from the Stellar Concord arrived to inspect human cities, laboratories, and government institutions. They observed how nations cooperated or failed to cooperate on global issues. They questioned leaders about policies on war, resource distribution, and environmental protection. And they tested Earth's technological safeguards, ensuring that its advancements wouldn't pose a threat to other species. Lavra acted as humanity's primary liaison, guiding the delegates through carefully curated tours designed to highlight Earth's strengths. She took them to sprawling fusion power plants, bustling research facilities, and even remote villages where renewable energy projects were transforming lives. Her calm demeanor and sharp intellect earned her respect from some of the more skeptical delegates, though others remained openly hostile. Ryan, meanwhile, focused on demonstrating Earth's scientific achievements. He showcased quantum computers capable of solving problems in seconds, medical devices that could heal injuries once thought incurable, and early prototypes of faster-than-light engines. Each presentation was met with a mix of awe and skepticism, as the delegates struggled to reconcile their preconceived notions of Earth with what they were witnessing. Despite these efforts, challenges arose almost immediately. Some factions within the Council sought to sabotage Earth's evaluation, spreading misinformation and exaggerating humanity's flaws. Reports emerged accusing Earth of hoarding resources, exploiting weaker nations, and developing weapons of mass destruction. These allegations fueled distrust among the delegates, forcing LeVar and Ryan to work overtime to counteract the lies. One particularly tense moment came when a delegate named Victor Lane accused Earth of hiding secret military installations. "How can we trust you," he demanded during a meeting, "when your own history is filled with wars and violence? You claim to have changed, but where is the proof?" Lavra stood firm, her voice steady despite the pressure. "Earth has made mistakes, yes, but we've also learned from them. Our global conflicts have taught us the value of peace and cooperation. As for hidden installations, I invite you to search anywhere you wish. Transparency is key to earning your trust." Victor scowled but said nothing further. Though his accusations lingered in the minds of some delegates, Laura's confidence helped diffuse the situation. Throughout this process, Aegis played a crucial role. The AI ambassador remained aboard the warship, serving as a constant presence. In negotiations and evaluations, its logical approach and unwavering loyalty to Earth earned it grudging respect from many delegates. Even those who disliked humanity found themselves impressed by Aegis's ability to analyze complex issues and propose solutions. Margaret Ellis, the counselor who had initially advocated for Earth, became an unexpected ally. Recognizing the value of humanity's ingenuity and determination, she used her influence to defend Earth against baseless accusations. During one heated debate, she addressed her peers directly. "Yes, Earth has flaws, but so do all civilizations. What sets them apart is their capacity for growth and adaptation. Instead of focusing on their past, let's consider their potential." Her words carried weight, swaying some of the undecided delegates. Slowly but surely, opinions began to shift. While not everyone welcomed Earth with open arms, fewer voices called for outright rejection. However, not all challenges came from external forces. Back on Earth, internal divisions threatened to derail progress. Some nations resisted sharing sensitive information with the Council, fearing it might be used against them later. Others saw the provisional membership as an opportunity to gain favor with powerful alien species, leading to rivalries and power struggles. Lavra and Ryan found themselves mediating disputes between governments, urging unity at a time when division could spell disaster. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day of negotiations, Lavra sat alone in her office, staring at a holographic map of the galaxy. Ryan entered quietly, holding 2 cups of coffee. "You look like you need this," he said, handing her one of the cups. Lavra accepted it with a grateful nod. "Thanks. Sometimes I wonder if we're ready for this. The Council expects perfection, and we're human." Ryan smiled faintly. "That's exactly why we'll succeed. We're not perfect, but we're adaptable. That's something none of them truly understand about us." His words brought a small smile to Laura's face. "Let's hope they figure it out before it's too late." As the evaluations continued, Earth faced one final test, a live demonstration of its commitment to peaceful coexistence. The Council requested a joint mission involving both human and alien crews working together to solve a simulated crisis. If successful, it would prove that humanity could collaborate with other species without conflict. The mission took place aboard a neutral space station, orbiting a distant star. Lavra led the human team, which included scientists, engineers, and diplomats. Their alien counterparts represented several member species of the Stellar Concord, each bringing unique skills and perspectives to the challenge. At first, tensions ran high. Misunderstandings arose due to cultural differences, language barriers, and lingering mistrust. But as the simulation progressed, something remarkable happened. The teams began to find common ground, combining their strengths to overcome obstacles. When a critical system failure threatened the success of the mission, it was a human engineer named Sarah who devised a solution using alien technology and act that earned applause from everyone involved. By the end of the exercise, the atmosphere had shifted dramatically. Where there had been suspicion and hostility, there was now mutual respect and camaraderie. Even the most skeptical delegates admitted that humanity had risen to the occasion. When the results of the evaluations were announced, the council convened for a final vote. The chamber buzzed with anticipation as Eleanor Grant called the session to order. One by one, the delegates cast their votes, their decisions reflecting the complexity of their emotions. Some still harbored doubts, while others had come to see Earth in a new light. Finally, the tally was complete. Earth had passed the evaluations, earning the right to full membership in the Stellar Concord. Cheers erupted from the human delegation, tears streaming down faces as they realized the magnitude of what they had achieved. Lavra clasped Ryan's hand tightly, her heart swelling with pride, but even as celebrations broke out, Lavra knew the journey was far from over. Full membership meant greater responsibilities and greater risks. Powerful factions within the council still viewed Earth as a threat, and they wouldn't hesitate to exploit any weakness. As the council adjourned, Margaret Ellis approached Lavra and Ryan. "Congratulations," she said warmly. "You've earned this, but don't let your guard down. There will be challenges ahead, and not everyone will welcome you with open arms." Lavra nodded, her expression serious. "We're ready. Humanity has faced challenges before and will face them again. Together." With those words, the warship departed from the orbital station, its mission accomplished for now. Earth had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, proving that even the smallest voice could demand attention in the vastness of space. Earth's full membership in the Stellar Concord marked the beginning of a new era, but it was far from smooth sailing. The Council's decision had opened doors for humanity, granting access to advanced technologies, trade agreements, and diplomatic alliances. Yet, with these opportunities came challenges that tested Earth's resolve and adaptability. The first major hurdle arose almost immediately. Delegates from hostile species within the Council began working behind the scenes to undermine Earth's position. Accusations of espionage and sabotage spread like wildfire, fueled by factions who viewed humanity as an unwelcome intruder. Some claimed Earth's rapid advancement was too suspicious, suggesting stolen technology or hidden agendas. Others argued that allowing such a primitive species into the fold would weaken the Concord standards. Lavra Bennett and Ryan Fields found themselves at the center of this storm. As Earth's representatives, they were tasked with addressing every accusation and countering every smear campaign. Lavra spent countless hours in meetings, defending humanity's integrity while navigating the complex web of galactic politics. Her calm demeanor and sharp wit became invaluable tools, earning her respect even from those who opposed her. Ryan, meanwhile, focused on proving Earth's technological achievements were genuine. He organized demonstrations showcasing the innovative processes behind humanity's breakthroughs, emphasizing the hard work and ingenuity that had driven progress. When skeptics questioned the origins of Earth's fusion reactors, he invited them to tour the facilities where scientists had spent decades perfecting the technology. His transparency helped dispel doubts, though it didn't silence all critics. Despite their efforts, covert threats loomed large. Spies and saboteurs infiltrated Earth's operations, attempting to steal classified data or disrupt critical projects. One night, alarms blared in the command center as an unknown signal breached the security systems protecting Earth's quantum computer network. Engineers scrambled to contain the breach, fearing the worst. If sensitive information fell into the wrong hands, It could jeopardize not only Earth's standing in the Concorde but also its safety. Lavra arrived at the scene moments later, her jaw tight with determination. "What do we know?" she asked, scanning the monitors displaying streams of encrypted code. "It's sophisticated," one of the technicians replied. "Whoever did this knows what they're doing." Ryan joined them, his eyes narrowing as he analyzed the intrusion patterns. "This isn't random. They're targeting specific files our research on faster-than-light travel." Lavra cursed under her breath. "We can't let them get away with this." Turning to the team, she issued orders with precision. "Lock down the system, trace the source of the breach, and alert Aegis will need its help to neutralize the threat." Within minutes, Aegis interfaced with the compromised system, its artificial intelligence dissecting the intruder's methods with lightning speed. The AI identified the attackers as operatives from a faction known as the Kale Syndicate, a group notorious for undermining rival civilizations within the Concorde. Using countermeasures designed by Ryan, Aegis isolated the breach and expelled the intruders before they could extract any valuable data. When news of the attempted theft reached the Council, reactions were mixed. Some delegates condemned the act, recognizing it as an affront to the Concorde's principles of cooperation and trust. Others dismissed it as inevitable, blaming Earth for provoking hostility with its rapid rise. Margaret Ellis, however, took a firm stance in defense of humanity. "They targeted Earth because they fear its potential," she declared during a council session. "Instead of condemning the victims, we should hold the perpetrators accountable. If we allow such actions to go unpunished, we risk emboldening others who seek to exploit our divisions." Her words resonated with many, prompting calls for an investigation into the Kale Syndicate's activities. Though the outcome of the inquiry remained uncertain, the incident served as a reminder of the challenges Earth faced in its new role. Beyond external threats, internal struggles also tested humanity's unity. The provisional membership had required unprecedented collaboration among Earth's nations, forcing governments to set aside long-standing rivalries and work toward a common goal. But full membership brought greater expectations and greater rewards that reignited old tensions. Some countries demanded priority access to alien technologies, arguing that their contributions to the evaluation process warranted special treatment. Others accused wealthier nations of hoarding resources and failing to share benefits equitably. Protests erupted in cities around the globe, with citizens demanding transparency and fairness in how Earth engaged with the Concorde. Lavra and Ryan worked tirelessly to mediate disputes, traveling between capitals to broker compromises and ensure no nation felt left behind. Their efforts paid off when world leaders agreed to establish a global council dedicated to managing Earth's interactions with the Concorde. This council would oversee resource distribution, technological exchange, and diplomatic relations, ensuring decisions reflected the interests of all humanity. As months passed, Earth gradually earned more allies within the Concorde. Species once dismissive of humanity began to recognize its unique qualities: creativity, resilience, and an unrelenting drive to overcome obstacles. Trade agreements flourished, bringing exotic materials and advanced tools that accelerated Earth's development. Medical breakthroughs shared by alien civilizations saved millions of lives, while cultural exchanges fostered mutual understanding and appreciation. Yet, even as friendships grew, so did rivalries. Certain factions continued to view Earth as a rival, seeing its rapid progress as a challenge to their dominance. Skirmishes broke out along contested borders, testing Earth's ability to defend itself without escalating conflicts. Lavra and Ryan coordinated closely with Aegis to maintain peace, relying on diplomacy whenever possible and strategic force when necessary. One such incident occurred near a remote star system, claimed by both Earth and a species called the Varnic. Tensions had been rising for weeks, with both sides accusing the other of encroachment. When a Varnic patrol intercepted an Earth exploration vessel, the situation threatened to spiral out of control. Lavra boarded the warship personally, determined to prevent bloodshed. Accompanied by Aegis, she initiated contact with the Varnic commander. Through careful negotiation, she managed to de-escalate the confrontation, proposing a joint mission to map the disputed region and establish clear boundaries. The Varnic commander hesitated but ultimately agreed. Impressed by Laura's willingness to compromise, back aboard the warship, Ryan approached Lavra as the crisis subsided. "You handled that well," he said, offering a rare smile. "Not everyone would have kept their cool under that kind of pressure." Lavra shrugged, though there was a hint of pride in her expression. "We didn't come this far just to start fighting over territory. Besides, diplomacy is always better than war if you can make it work." As Earth settled into its role within, the Concorde, the warship, remained a constant presence, symbolizing humanity's courage and resolve. Aegis continued to serve as Earth's ambassador, its logical approach and unwavering loyalty earning it admiration even among former detractors. Together, Lavra, Ryan, and Aegis formed a formidable trio, representing humanity's best qualities on the galactic stage. By the end of Earth's first year as a full member of the Stellar Concorde, the planet had proven itself worthy of inclusion. Challenges remained, but humanity had shown it could adapt, collaborate, and persevere. At the annual induction ceremony, ambassadors from across the galaxy gathered to celebrate Earth's achievements. Lavra stood beside Aegis as applause filled the chamber, her heart swelling with pride. Margaret Ellis approached her afterward, extending a hand in congratulations. "You've done something remarkable," she said warmly. "Not everyone believed in Earth's potential, but you proved them wrong." Lavra shook her hand firmly, her expression thoughtful. "It wasn't just me. It was everyone back home who worked together to make this happen. Humanity may not be perfect, but we're learning, and that's what matters." As the ceremony concluded, the warship drifted silently in orbit, a beacon of hope for a brighter future. Earth had taken its place among the stars, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.